We are very pleased to have with us our guest, Joe Garcia, who a fairly new business owner, but not new to Worcester.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Joe.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, Joe, first and foremost, let me say thank you. You're a United States Marine Corps veteran, served twice overseas in Iraq and in Georgia, so thank you for your service.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you.
But as I mentioned, not new to Worcester. Worcester Technical High School, after the service, Quinsigamond Community College. Might just tell us a little bit about your roots.
Absolutely. So I grew up in Worcester, Mass. Grew up in housing complex in Plumley Village. Then I went to Worcester Technical High School, finished that, enlisted in the Marine Corps, did 4 years, got out. Then I went to Quinsigamond Community College, studied criminal justice, where I completed my associate's degree in criminal justice. And then I went on to work for the Massachusetts Department of Corrections, and I stand here today as a proud business owner.
You applied your criminal justice working in corrections.
Right, exactly.
You know, from my experience in state government, I like to say, you know, two of the hardest jobs that we have in state government are corrections officers and DCF workers.
Oh, so, there's no doubt about that.
Thank you for that work too. But you're here, new business owners, and Grunts Move Junk. Why don't you talk to us about that?
Doesn't that put a smile on your face?
I know,
when you say it?
Grunts Move Junk. We like it. You know?
So Grunts Move Junk is a veteran-owned and operated junk removal and moving company. So while our main focus as a startup is junk removal and moving, our goal is to really be a professional service company. So when you think of Grunts, the backlog is veterans, right? Veteran-owned and operated. Our goal is to provide, you know, electrical services, plumbing services, construction services. You think about it, we really want to be the one-stop shop. So while primarily we focus on junk removal and moving, we're going to be able to, we want to grow the business in order to bring on more veterans and provide more jobs. And, you know, right now, the company is in the process of filling out their franchise disclosure documents so that we can be able to provide business ownership opportunities, not just, you know, the jobs. We want to be able to provide, you know, business ownership opportunities to veterans.
So you know, one of the things that we know, and it sounds like, you know, Grunts Move Junk is focused on it in a variety of different ways. We know that returning, you know, veterans, you know, many of whom experience combat. PTSD, you know, fairly new term, you know, in the last 10 or 15 years, but when we study history, it was called different things, you know, from different conflicts.
Right.
Now science and research, you know, allow us to diagnose it, treat it, but, and we also know that probably in large part because of PTSD or TBI or, you know, some of these experiences, the unemployment rate among veterans is disproportionately higher than the broader community.
Absolutely.
And so your work as a former combat Marine, as somebody who worked at Veterans Inc., part of the philosophy of this company is creating an environment where veterans can come to work and work with them on that transition.
Right, because, you know, like you said, it's just disproportionate to the, you know, general public. And, you know, why is that? It could be for a variety of reasons, you know. It could be PTSD, it could be a lack of resume skills, but, you know, there's that kind of hunch that, you know, veterans have to get over that. You know, employers may not understand if you have a veteran has a PTSD outbreak, whereas if Grunts recreates that military environment, you're amongst other veterans, we'll be able to kind of understand the veteran more and really how to kind of point them in the right direction, where, you know, usually a private sector employer really doesn't know how to, you know, kind of point them in the directions.
Well, as we learned, like in so many other things, you know, that peer-to-peer support, you know, whether it be kind of women, whether it be veterans, whether it be, you know, people from you know, same kind of countries of origin or immigrant community. I mean, that veteran, the peer-to-peer,
right?
It's important.
Absolutely, there's nothing like it, and there's nothing else that can replace it.
So, you know, I like to ask this question because I think it just kind of speaks to kind of a spirit or kind of an approach to things. But, you know, stepping out on your own, creating your own, you know, business franchise, you know, what kind of possessed you to say, look, I'm willing to risk it and, you know, go away from that weekly or bi-weekly paycheck to, you know, just going out there and trying to start new?
You know, here's the thing. You know, I was talking to a bunch of investors, and I was talking about, you know, trying to start this, right? And I said, you know, I explained to them what I did, and as a veterans advocate, I try and find veterans jobs. And I remember one investor particularly saying, you know, what are you doing, Joe? You know, it's just lip service. You know, you're just kind of educating employers. Why don't you do something yourself? And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And although it's been scary, it hasn't been easy, but I've had tremendous support from the community, the Worcester Chamber of Commerce, and it's been great. It's been really amazing.
No, I mean that's important because you got a lot on the line. a Worcester homeowner and
Oh,
a
yeah.
15-month-old daughter.
Oh yeah, there's a lot all in the line. But you know, they support me. You know, just like the community. My fiance Grace, she supports me 110%. My little daughter, she's 15 months old, like you said, and she's just a grunt in training.
Grunt
you
in
know?
training.
That's
right?
right. That's how we refer to her.
I have her moving some stuff and helping with the business, which is
Exactly,
great.
exactly.
But but that's I think that's a big step. Starting and creating a business, and in terms of your research, because one of the things that we're very focused on at the Chamber is encouraging people and entrepreneurs and providing supports and guidance. We're going to be hosting May 4th a conference, Worcesterpreneurs, but aimed at very much kind of students, immigrant community, minority community, and trying to encourage them and provide them supports on how to start a business. But there's there's some risk there.
There's a lot of risk, and what I will say to entrepreneurs is really just reach out and ask. That's all I did. All I did was ask the right person the right question, and I have great mentors, and they've kind of guided me along the way, just so I don't make the same mistakes that they have made. Yeah,
that's one of the things that I find where the Chamber can be very helpful. I mean, a lot of peer-to-peer people who started their own businesses. I mean, I can tell you from starting a law practice when I got they teach you the law, but they don't teach you how to start a business.
Right.
Networking, marketing, things like that. And you're jumping into all that right now.
Oh, we're in everything. Our marketing campaign is actually pretty aggressive, and we're just going to keep going, keep hacking away.
Yeah, and what are some of the ways you're doing? I know social media.
So we're on social media. We're on kind of Google AdWords, pay-per-click advertising, YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, we're all over the place. We're going to really be aggressive with the market in order to get the word out there, and also networking. That's our biggest thing, is really being involved in community events. We believe in big and being involved in the community, so that's really going to be our biggest kind of separation from other business owners or companies that as veterans, it's our pitch to be involved directly with the community.
And as a Chamber member, I want to give you an opportunity with this show to market a little bit. So, website, how do people learn more or contact you?
So people can find us directly on www.gruntsmovejunk.com, or they can find us on Facebook at Grunts Move Junk Massachusetts, or Twitter, Grunts Mass, and Instagram, Grunts Move Junk Mass. I think I nailed them all, right?
And Mass, you're covering your area as a franchise, or is it your Grunts Move Junk?
So my company is we're not a franchise yet. We're just we're in the process doing the franchise disclosure documents. But we have 2 locations. So Vermont is our other location, which is the founder is Army veteran Mitch Durfee, and then we have Massachusetts, which is my location.
Oh, great! So you cover some ground.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to grow it. The problem is that when we provide these business ownership opportunities, our goal is to have scalability behind it. So we're not saying you're going to have this small population with your business owner. We're going to give you a really large enough population so that way you can effectively scale the business and be able to grow it and offer more services in the surrounding towns, not just kind of be minuscule just to Worcester or just a small city. We're going to have good scalability behind it, so that way the veteran gets to be able to grow the business effectively.
Scalability, sustainability, and then creates more opportunities for
Absolutely.
employability. We like that. Well, Joe, we look forward to having you back to get some updates, and thank you for your involvement with the Chamber out of the gate as a new member, and wish you the best of success with Grunts Move Junk Mass, and I'm sure you're going to do well. But thanks for joining us in this segment.
My pleasure, Tim, and thank you.